Thanks for coming back to watch part 2 of the interview with Fran Racioppi. He is a former United States Army Green Beret, and he got out of the military, and he talked about his transition in part 1. In part 2, although he touched on it in part 1, he's going to talk about FRSix, the company that he established. He's going to go into a little bit more detail. I hope you'll join us for our next veteran interview, which is in the queue right now. I can't officially say who it is. So FR6, talk to me a little bit about what prompted you to start your own company.
Oh yeah, I started FR6 a few years ago while I was in business school because I truly wanted to give back. I wanted to share my experiences and the lessons that I learned so that people, as they develop as leaders, as they develop their teams, as they develop their organizations, can take some of the lessons that I learned through my career in the military, prior to that in collegiate as being a Division I collegiate athlete, and take those forward to help themselves and their organizations be better. So I put together a series of keynote speeches. I put together a leadership development seminar, and I started telling these stories, and I started tying it into my audience and the organization that they have and the challenges that they face and the goals and the vision that they have to make themselves and their organizations better. And so that has been a great opportunity for me to kind of tell the chapters. And I believe that your life is a series of chapters. They have starts. They often sometimes have definitive ends, and there are lessons learned that come out of those things, and it prepares you for the next phase of your life and to grow as a person and to grow the organizations that you're a part of and the people that you influence and impact every day. And so FR6 has been an opportunity for me to share those stories, impart some small wisdom that I may have, and engage the audience in learning things like understanding your place in an organization, understanding your team's place in an organization, the value that you bring personally to your team, to your company, and the value that your team brings to each other and the team members and the company itself. Talk a lot about the discipline in deliberate planning, identifying contingencies, identifying things that can affect you and your business, and how you go about operating every day, and then developing plans and controls around that, sort of a business continuity, emergency management standpoint, and operational resiliency. Also talk a lot about training, training mentally, training physically, and controlling and understanding the things that are within or beyond your personal control. We can't worry about things that we can't control. That takes away, our mind's effort to focus on the things that we can control. And so I talk a lot about that as well.
So, have you found that there are a lot of other veteran owned businesses that are reaching out to you to help them with this?
There's a lot of veteran-owned businesses, and there's a lot of veteran-owned businesses, all across every industry. And the VA has some great programs in getting yourself accredited as a veterans-owned business or a service-disabled veterans-owned business if you have, a minimum disability rating from the VA. There's a lot of incentives behind that. There's a lot of partnership programs with other veterans organizations, and there's a lot of opportunity to partner with veteran service organizations. So I also serve as the treasurer for an organization called the United War Veterans Council, which hosts and puts on the annual New York City Veterans Day Parade. And I've been fortunate enough to be a board member there for the last couple of years and MC the Veterans Day Parade the last 2 years, and be on ABC. The telecast has been a really great opportunity to advocate for veterans, give back to those organizations and, really be part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Could you repeat the name of the council?
The United War Veterans Council.
Okay. How important has that been to you to be a part of?
One of the biggest losses that I believe transitioning members of the military, and especially members of the military who've operated in small teams, one of the biggest losses that you don't think about is the loss of comradeship and camaraderie, and a group of individuals that are your family, that you see every single day, that you do everything, and in most cases, that you see more than your family, and that in a lot of ways know you differently than your family may even know you and understand you. And so when people transition out, you very quickly go from this environment of, for the most part, comfort of this small group of folks to really being, in some ways, isolationist. And you may have, if you have your family, if you're fortunate enough to have kids, if you have, you have a lot of people who are there that you can lean on. It's not the same. It's not the same, and you lose that. And so I encourage everybody who gets out to find a veteran service organization that they believe in. And there's great ones out there. There's great organizations like Headstrong, who run a mental health counseling for transitioning veterans. Whether you suffer from PTSD, or you suffer, you just want someone to talk to about transition. They're highly influential in those worlds. There's organizations like Go Ruck, started by Jason McCarthy, fellow former 10th grouper, who's done a great job in promoting just ruck marching, which is, like, in my mind, the worst thing we ever did in the military. But there's a lot of people who love it, and it's that sense of team. It's a sense of purpose. There's organizations like Team RWB, who do a lot of physical events across the country. And then for us in the United War Veterans Council, it's about honoring and celebrating and never forgetting those who have fought our nation's wars in every conflict, from the American Revolution through today. Our job on Veterans Day is to show our country and remind our country that these folks still matter. We have a job to do to honor their service, honor so much sacrifice that has been made to allow us the freedoms that we entertain. At a point in time today where this is the definition of freedom. What's going on in the world, being able to hear your voice and be heard, and really affect concrete change. And that freedom is due to the sacrifice that so many of our brothers and sisters in arms have made throughout our nation's history.
And especially now that we're not at war. We always are somewhere, I think, but it's just not on social media, and people lose sight of you. So it's up to you guys to continue that. And if you don't do it, who will?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm trying to do it, but I'm just a spouse.
Everybody has a part to play.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's pretty good for now.
Okay.
And I want to thank you for taking all this time and talking to everyone and kicking off this channel, which I hope will really grow into something great. And I'm sure that we will be hearing from you again. I think it just
Of course,
froze
thank
up.
you. Happy to help in any way that I can. Thank you for doing this. It was hugely impactful.
Can you say it one more time?
Yes, I'm getting it. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just wanted to say thank you for doing this. Thanks for putting this together. Thanks for calling awareness to this really, really important next chapter in so many people's life. I believe that it's spouses like yourself who are critically important to people's transition, service members' transition.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we will talk to you soon. Good
All
luck
right.
with FR6.
All right. Thanks. Keep me posted.
So if you want to get in touch with Fran, I'm sure you can connect with him on LinkedIn, or you can send us an email here at militarymastermindsm3@gmail.com. Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning of this video that I was going to tell you about the next veteran. His name is David Dezo, and he's with the Banyan Risk Group. He's also former SF, and we hope that this next interview will drop with David in the next week or so. So I want to say the third week in July. Fingers crossed. Again, I'm new to this, and those that are watching, thank you. I hope that you'll subscribe and click on notifications. I hope you'll share this video with another veteran.